Greed. Oh, that's an old-fashioned one. That's going 7 deadly sins on this shit. No, not that. And I'm not talking about it because I don't read the damn story. Freaking people running around with blonde hair and weird tattoos on their eyes and fairy kings. Like, how can I supposed to get into that series? It's impossible. Anyway, 7 deadly sins, one of them is greed, of course. One of the things that will eventually lead man to the ruin. I mean, this is the same thing with destruction. I mean, humans have always had a propensity for trying to amass as much wealth as possible, way going back in the days of gold and silver, way up till now with paper. You know, it's something that just kind of drives us. We're always driven to get more money. At first, it's just, okay, we need enough money just to live, you know, to pay for a place to stay and for food and to get around. But, you know, you start amassing enough, and it does stuff to people. I mean, it really does. I mean, I'm sure there's a few very virtuous people that are sitting on just a mountain of money, and they're none the worse for it. They, you know, or spend it wisely, they keep it safe, they're saving it for a rainy day, or they're using it in very charitable ways and shit like that. But, I mean, for the average person that just doesn't accumulate wealth, you know, periodically throughout their life, for somebody that just, like, is a poor son of a bitch that just wins the fucking Powerball and gets, like, $1 billion dumped into their lap, that really messes with people. I would say that it's fair to say that most people wouldn't be able to handle that. In fact, just the other day, I was reading an article about... Okay, fine. We'll get to the discussion about the Espada. I'm trying to be philosophical on you people. It's Aaroniero anyway. Who even gives a shit? Aaroniero, how you doing there, buddy? Z's, buddies, two of you, are you the same person, I guess? I guess last episode I said I wonder if any other Espada had brothers and sisters. I think this is probably a clear indication. So, Aaroniero Arruruerie was one of the original Espada. Before Aizen appeared in Las Noches and Hueco Mundo, you had like an original set of Espada that I guess were underneath Baragon, I suppose. Like, where did Baragon get placed in that Espada hierarchy? Or were like the Espada like Baragon's top warriors? If that was the case, then where the hell was Aaroniero during the time that Aizen invaded or whatever? Anyway, the original Espada, and we don't exactly know what number that Aaroniero was in that original set, but we can assume that he ranked pretty high, probably, considering that his ability is literally one that gets stronger and stronger. As he stated, he can evolve endlessly using his ability of glottonaria, or glottonaria, although I don't like saying glottonaria because that sounds like some weird vaginal, whatever. Anyway, now he's ranked number 9, which after the revelation of what Yami's number was all about, it's revealed that Aaroniero is in fact the lowest ranked and the weakest Espada, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, the guy has a massive fuck you spot right on his freaking body. You know how, like, in video games when you rock up to the boss and it's just like this giant ass dragon or golem thing, but then like the game decides like, hey look, his horn is flashing, you should probably aim for that. Same shit with Aaroniero. Hey look everybody, I'm this giant octopus guy. I have the power of over 30,000 hollows. You couldn't possibly hope to hurt me. Except this obvious fuck you spot dome on my head, which you shatter quite easily, and then my heads will fall out, and I guess the heads can't survive independent of that liquid, you know, or whatever they hit the air, because one of the heads, I guess, Arruruerie, I guess there's one that's Aaroniero, and there's one that's Arruruerie, you know, was intense pain after being introduced to this. One of them has a more male voice, another one has a more feminine voice, but I don't even know if you want to get genders involved here. The least favorite scene I have from Aaroniero is the scene when, as you could probably guess it, 3 in a row, it fucked with Rukia. You don't do that. And this thing fucked with Rukia even further because it actually took the form of Kai and Shiba, Rukia's mentor, the person that she looked up to the most. You know, in fact, that's I think one of the reasons why Rukia's relationship with Ichigo is so powerful, is so strong, at least at the beginning, because Ichigo bears such a strong resemblance to Kai, and so she probably felt like she could trust him, that she could confide in Ichigo in those early chapters. Eventually, of course, Rukia gets to know Ichigo on a whole other level, and I think that kind of takes it on his own merit. But for those initial meetings, I think Kai and Shiba's resemblance to Ichigo was a big factor, and Aaroniero exploits that. It's not like he just goes into Kai and Shiba and starts attacking her. Oh, no. He plays it out. He goes into the form and says, oh, no, Rukia, yeah, I was absorbed by this hollow, and then I regained my body, because I'm awesome. and then I infiltrated Aizen's army, and I'm just waiting around for a time when I can attack and dethrone the bastard. Yeah. Oh no. And then he decides, all of a sudden to, attack Rukia when her guard's down. You don't do that. He also had access to Kai and Shiba's Zanpakuto, Nejibana, a water-based sword, which you think would have a better contrast with Rukia's ice abilities, sort of like how Holly-Bell fought against Toshiro, but it doesn't really go anywhere like that. Kaien just kind of beat the shit out of her initially, and part of that was Rukia not wanting to fight back against her former mentor. And you also have to keep in mind, though, that Kaien Shiba, it's not like, he has the body of Kaien Shiba, but not the mind. No, he has the body and the mind. He knows his personality, all of his memories. The thing that he couldn't get, though, was something more metaphorical. His heart or his soul, not his actual soul, because I know they're already Shinigami and Hollows, but like what he entrusted into Rukia, that's what he couldn't have. And Rukia's like, I don't care if you are the reincarnated version of Kaien or whatever, he entrusted something to me very precious, and I think he would want me to kill you, even though you're technically him because you also have all of his memories. Whatever, I'm just gonna ram my fucking ice sword through your face. And that's what she does. And she kills him. And it was fucking cool. Also, last thing I have to mention here is just how lame it was on how he died. I mean, let's think about this. I think he amassed something like 33,000 something hollows, and he's going on this spiel about how I can evolve endlessly. He was also the only Gillion amongst the Espada, but that didn't really mean anything. He's gone on about how badass he is and how he has access to all these hollow abilities. We don't see him use any! I love that! He doesn't even pull off a fucking Sero! Later on, when he's in the Hellverse prequel, which I don't even think he does anything there, he goes into his Resurrection again, and that's all he does. But we don't get to see him use anything. He's like, I absorbed all these hollows, I have all their abilities, and he doesn't even show anything off. And Rukia just goes up and stabs him right through the freaking face, and that's all she wrote. But way to go, Rukia. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention my favorite moment from Aaroniero. Oh, right, I forgot. No one has any.